right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. A good friend is in the studio. I forgot that John Grace was coming in today. John is a psychiatrist over in Crystal River, and he comes into Ocala now and then, and he's got an idea on how to mix poker with psychiatry. We'll find out how he does that and how you can help with a poker tournament. John is a board-certified psychiatrist and an author. You have written how many books now?
3.
3 books. Wow. Well, good to see you again. You look great.
Yeah, you too.
Long time.
Yes, it's been a while.
For those who've listened to us for a very long time, you might remember that John Grace did a regular radio show here once upon a time.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's always reminiscing coming back.
Analyze us, right?
Yeah, that was quite the challenge. I gave up.
I don't blame you. All right, so we have here something I've never heard about. Poker-based psychotherapy.
Yeah, this is a great story. You know, about 4 years ago, some friends of mine had said, "Hey, you're a psychiatrist. You understand people. Maybe you should play poker. Kind of a local game." And I'm like, "Hey, I thought that's kind of a math thing. I don't think it would. My skill set would translate." And I was amazed. In retrospect, maybe a little silly, but amazed at how much poker is all psychology and
really,
yeah, and how interesting it was to both watch the individual psychology and the group psychology of the table change over time. And so, I did pretty well with it and I enjoyed it. But then I got kind of excited as I was watching about the other players. And obviously I'm a chatter, I talk to everybody. And I started talking to people. And the first group that I noticed was domestic violence survivor women who had played poker and were using poker as a way to help them empower them. Because if you think about it, when people escape a domestic violence situation, one of the things that they really need to learn how to do is how do you confront aggressive, intimidating males? And that's because that's a situation that scares them. And what you see these women who have gone through this and use poker is that they really get stronger because poker is kind of a microcosm of all the negativity of human emotion. There's lying, there's intimidating, but it's a safe, it's a safe, controlled environment.
Gotcha,
and when you have something you're afraid of, we need to find a way to expose you to that. And so what poker allows us to do
very smart.
is it allows us to be very controlled and expose you to intimidation, expose you to lying, expose you to stealing, basically.
Is this something you created? This is your...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is a book.
I'm already writing the book, and so that's okay. So
man, this is the thing that'll take you national.
I don't know if but I love it. I'm very excited about it. So what I've spent the last 2 years doing is developing a system that will allow an unskilled player to sit down at a poker table and not lose their money so fast that they get some benefit from it.
I was going to ask you about the money, psychologically speaking, and especially as far as using poker as therapy. Does adding wagering to the mix hurt or help?
I think it helps because, again, it sort of adds the emotional weight. If there wasn't any money there, then people really wouldn't be afraid. They wouldn't be intimidated.
Right. And that's what you want. Your objective is to get them to worry.
I hate bullies. I've always hated bullies, and I think domestic violence are the biggest bullies on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so poker teaches you how to stand up to bullies. You don't always stand up to them. You wait until you're stronger, and then you shove it right back down there.
I like that.
And so watching...
Oh, John, Doctor, you are going to... this is going to be a national thing for you.
I don't know. For me...
there's no question in my mind.
It's super exciting. It's a lot of fun. And like I said,
you're going to be on the Today Show. I'm telling you, this is big thing. This is a big thing.
We're starting our first poker group psychotherapy like in the next few weeks. We already got our sign-up list. So if anybody's interested or like the idea, kind of visit our website.
And what's the website?
www.johngraceMD.com, or just do a John Grace Psychiatry search and it'll come up.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Okay, there's a tournament coming up, and that's a fundraiser, right?
Right. Okay, so I've been playing poker. I've been developing the system. I've been doing this group psychotherapy with it, and then last year, Avatar Spa in Crystal River put on a poker tournament, and I played. And I said, you know what? This year, why don't I sponsor the tournament as a way to kind of introduce people to this idea? And so I contacted them. I said, okay, I'll sponsor this tournament, but I want all the proceeds to go to the Citrus County Abuse Shelter Association. And let me just tell you about that organization briefly. It's a organization, nonprofit organization in Crystal River, in Citrus County, that helps domestic violence victims escape. And for me, charity means the most when a little bit of help makes all the difference in the world. And I like giving charity to people who are already empowered, helping them take that next step. There is nobody more empowered, more driven than a woman trying to take her and her kids out of a domestic violence situation. A little bit of help, giving them that 2 or 3 days makes all the difference in the world. And as I contacted that organization, I have to be honest, I felt guilty that I haven't really done more for them over the years, because we have sent countless patients to them, and they have made all the difference in the world. So anyway, I said, I'll sponsor the tournament this year because I want to talk about that, but all the proceeds I want going to that organization. And they've been on board, they've been excited. That's
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, this is a wonderful idea. And sometimes I don't grasp ideas very quickly. I have to hear them a few times, but this is an easy one to. You explained it in such a way that I think everybody will grasp this. I can't. The book is going to be the key. Get the book. Get on the Today Show. Boom. You'll be helping so many people.
Yeah, and like I said, for me, I've already seen it happen. Again.
So what do you? So what? Okay. So let's say the book is out, and there's a fellow psychiatrist watching in Detroit, and he says, "Oh my gosh, this is a great idea. I'm going to buy that book and use that therapy in my practice." Explain to the layperson what you as the doctor do. Do you sit in the room while they're playing poker?
No. See, what we do is we sit at the table and we're sitting here playing cards, and then the difference.
So are you one of the players?
Yeah.
Oh, is the doctor? Okay,
yeah, and I'll take different roles. I'm going to be a bully one time. I'm going to be scared. I'm going to show you the different personality types that are at a poker table.
Just you and the patient, or do you have more than one patient?
No, we got like eight patients playing.
Oh, okay.
And we may bring some pros in. We may, kind of, so you get some different exposure to different levels. And again, sort of the individual psychology of people changes, and the table psychology changes, and we want to show you how to read that again, because what you're really helping these people do is read negative emotions. And what you need to understand is that most people struggle with negative interactions, right? Most, we do fine when everybody's happy, but how do you how do you confront people? How do you give them bad news? How do you deal when someone's being intimidating? And so that's why I think it really helps a big range. Also, one of the problems that trauma survivors have is they over-respond to negativity. They can either run away from it, or they get a little bit of negativity and then they'll scream at the person's face. Mm-hmm. And so poker helps with that too, because a little bit of negativity, you don't throw your cards down and run away.
In your talking points that you provided to me, you put culture clash. Explain how that mixes in with this.
Well, the culture clash event is the actual event that they had hosted, and the charity tournament was one part of that. And so what this event is, they try to do something a little different this year in Crystal River. They said, think Cirque du Soleil meets fine dining in Broadway. So it's kind of a new concept. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. They have some aerialists that will be there.
This is an event.
Yeah, this is an event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they asked all the restaurants locally. They said, hey, make something different, make something fancy. We're bringing people out there to experience something a little different than we've ever done. Yeah, you don't know how it's going to go, but you got to try new things in life.
Sounds like fun, but this is separate from the poker.
The poker event will be going on while this is happening.
I see.
So there will be people in costumes, sort of Cirque du Soleil. And one of the really cool things that we thought up for the poker event was we're going to have a table of ghost players that sort of represent domestic violence survivors that have just a dealer there dealing to mannequins, and each of those players is sponsored, and they're kind of slowly losing their chips as you represent sort of this person who's slowly suffering.
Wow, this is a great idea.
Yeah, it's a lot of metaphors, and
I think you've hit the jackpot with this one. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. If you have any questions for Dr. Grace, you are welcome to call. The number is 622-9622. Plus, there's a way for you to help right now, and we'll let Dr. Grace explain that on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be sunny and pleasant on this Tuesday with a high of 77 on the coast, 83 inland. Clear Tuesday night, lows in the mid-50s in a few inland spots, mid-60s at the coast. Partly sunny Wednesday, high 76 to 80. Thursday, morning cloud and a shower, then some sunshine. Breezy and warm. The afternoon high 79 on the coast, 85 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
8th grade students Chloe Kuntz and Subha Huck from Howard Middle School. They're with the International Baccalaureate Program. They're doing a special project that they are spearheading. It is benefiting Interfaith Emergency Services. It's called Let Your Interfaith Shine event. It is happening today, only April the 5th, until 5:30 p.m. They are requesting a lot of hygiene items, no matter the size, in any size that you have, unused, that you would like to donate to Interfaith Emergency Services. The drop-off point is at Kuntz Furniture, located at 3111 South Pine Avenue, right here in Ocala. All of the items received today will be donated to Interfaith Emergency Services. We give kudos to Chloe Kuntz and Subha Huck. And for more information, contact Interfaith at 629-8868.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your mobile Verizon rep. But not just here, I'll deliver the phone to you in your home. While I'm there, I'll only sell you what you need and I'll personalize it to you. Want to have me get you connected? Then call me at 352-528-0020. I even offer unlimited home phone service for just $20 per month. Just call me, your mobile Verizon rep, at 352-528-0020.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Dr. John Grace is in the studio, and if you were listening to the first half, you got an idea that he has that appears to work, where poker is used as a way to provide therapy for people who need it, and we'll let John explain more. But what I wanted to ask, do you think maybe that people have benefited from this without realizing it? Do you think that's possible?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where it really came from, is watching people sort of empower themselves in this situation. And
Wow. That is a brilliant idea. We have a phone call coming in, I think. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on there with Dr. Grace.
Dr. Grace, it's been so long. Hello, Larry and Robin. This
Hey.
is Jan Marino.
Hi, Jan.
Hi, Dr. Grace. Say, my question is, why does it bother people so much when you're in a hostile situation and the person is yelling at you? Why does it bother the person so much? It's just words.
Yeah, that's a great question. And one of the things that we really help people, and again, this idea I think helps people a lot with, is responding to the intensity of the stimulus appropriately. Usually people's direction of response is okay. Most people don't like being yelled at. But when people have been through trauma or difficult situations, they tend to over-respond to negative emotion. Kind of like one of the analogy I'll use is like when you're a veteran and you've been shot at, it's hard for you to hear firecrackers. Right, and the truth is, in life, you hear a lot of firecrackers, and and we even talk about in relationships. I mean, there's a lot of negativity that goes back and forth in even a healthy marriage. My wife and I bicker. I don't like you doing this. I don't like you doing that. And one of the things that I think is really the most challenging thing is giving low level of negativity to the people you care about and not having them over-respond. So, yeah, it's a great point, and maybe the most salient issue with human communication is how to communicate and respond to low-level negativity.
If I give you low-level negativity and you over-respond, is there a way I can diffuse the situation?
It's hard to in the moment. Because that big emotion sort of takes over. What I usually tell people is when the big emotion comes on board, the communication's probably stopped at that point. You probably need to stop trying to communicate, but you need to go back and revisit that communication when both of you are calm. The other thing that I think is really, really critical if you're trying to help someone who's over responding is help them make their point in the appropriate way. Say, hey, you look like you were trying to say this at this level. You go back and you say, this is how that should have been done. You don't have to scream that information to me, but you do have a point.
Yeah. That's very good, Dr. Grace. I appreciate it, and it's nice to hear you.
Oh, nice to hear you too, Jan. You take care.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
We can all relate to that too. We've all, and I loved your answer because you can't really do anything at that moment. You got to step back.
You got to
take a walk or something.
Rather than World War III.
Yeah.
At the event itself, you have different levels of participation. You say sponsor a player for $55. Does that mean the player can come in, play at the table, and then if they win, do they keep their winnings?
Well, there are no winnings, but they do have a large prize pool for the tournament. I think we're up to around 2,500. I'd like to get that up to around 3,500. And one of the things I was going to say today, if any of the local restaurants or anybody wants to call in and donate a prize, a gift certificate, I'll match the value up to $500 while I'm here today. Because for me, I've just gotten more and more excited about this event as it's gone on.
You've done a wonderful job explaining what poker psychotherapy is, and of course, there's probably a lot more to it. We'll have to read the book to get the details. But in the interest of time for the radio show, and in the interest of gathering interest in the tournament, what and where and is this for people who need psychotherapy, or this is just for anybody? Anybody can play poker.
No, yeah. This is a tournament for fun. Come out, learn about Crystal River. Come to the event. The event should be exciting and fun. The Culture Clash event starts at 6:00. Again, there'll be fine food there. There will be.
What was the date again?
It's a Saturday, April 9th.
Oh, this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that the Culture Clash event starts at 6 p.m. It's a $5 admission. The poker tournament, if you want to enter, is a $50 donation is suggested. And I think there are 50 spots left. I'm not sure how many we have left, but if you want to sponsor either a player or a tournament or a table, or if you'd like to donate a prize, you can visit our website and get all that information as well.
Right. All right, let's see. You had another talking point. The sponsorship. You talked about that. Now, in general, do you see this as something that will be part of your practice? And would there be any naysayers who would benefit from this? How would you get them to sit at the poker table? Well, maybe not a naysayer in that they don't believe it'll work, but that they just, because I don't know a thing about poker. I've never played poker in my life.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting response curve as far as how the world responds to it. Some people are like, what?
Well, that's why I think this is going to take off.
What's next? Beer and football therapy, kind of thing. I mean, it seems.
Yeah, but that might work too.
Yeah, but it seems a little counterintuitive until you actually watch it in action. So, it's.
Can you take us behind the scenes of our own brains? In other words, what happens let's have a fictional but specific person, a lady who's been the victim of abuse. What exactly goes on in her head? And then how long does it take to work? Does she have to win the game, or does losing help her?
Okay, well, let's talk about trauma memories. Trauma memories are placed in a different place in your head, and they are placed in the hyper alert fight or flight mode. Just when you have been exposed to a severe life-threatening trauma, or your children have, you have this automatic program that gets easily triggered. And unfortunately, we live in a world where triggers are everywhere. And you have to understand there's a few big triggers. One of them, obviously, is someone screaming or yelling at you. But whenever you have a trauma survivor, they become a little bit of a control freak. And the reason that is that they say, hey, the world did something horrible to me. I'm going to be in charge of everything so the world never does anything bad again. Why that is so important is that lack of control, or that powerlessness, then becomes a trigger to replay some of those movies where you have an exaggerated response. And it's exactly what Jan was talking about there, where she was saying a small level of negativity then activates this hyper alert fight or flight response, and someone comes back screaming. And we've all seen that in someone who maybe is a little jumpy or a little sensitive, that it just takes a little bit to kind of light that firecracker.
So I would think an abused woman in a poker therapy would have to be playing against men, because if she was only playing against other women, I'm trying to be amateur you. I mean, would that help her at all?
You know what's funny, when you watch triggers, and this is why we have people journal who have been through trauma. They're not what you think. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously a guy who looks like the abuser, who acts like the abuser is probably going to be a trigger. But sometimes, I mean, I've had anybody who dresses up, is a trigger. They don't like people, the person was.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
It really bothers them when you get someone who is really prim and proper. So it's very individualized. But the thing about the poker is it is negative emotion going back at various levels, back and forth. And it gives them the ability to look for triggers in a very, very controlled setting. See, if we wanted to expose you to aggressive males, I mean, that could be a little dangerous. So this is a very safe place that you can be there. Right. And
Does this help the bully? We went to this boxing match on Friday, and what they do is they take kids who are being bullied and they teach them how to box, and they bring the bullies in there also.
Right.
And somehow it levels the playing field for both of them. Does it work that way with this? Would the abuser actually benefit from the poker therapy?
That's interesting. I don't know. We'll have to bring some bullies in and see.
But I mean, seriously, those people, I don't know where you would find them, in jail, maybe.
Yeah, the world is not very sympathetic towards bullies, me included, I suppose, and it's kind of one of those things that.
But you would be if it was your son. I've often.
I know.
I mean, thank God that my son is not that way. But what would you do if you found out that your child was the one who's picking on everybody?
Yeah, well, I mean, bullying is usually a group thing, right? Like, there's usually one alpha bully, and, and I remember being in those sorts of categories as kids, and I would bully a little, but mostly that was just terror that I didn't want to get bullied by the big guy up there. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're not the big guy, you're just falling into line. You see how bad it is to be the one being bullied.
Right.
So I think that group is sort of the group that has, well, I'll give you an example. I knew a guy who was a pretty big bully, and but he wasn't the alpha bully. And I asked him if it ever bothered him that one of the kids who was bullied ended up committing suicide.
Oh,
and
no.
he said, I keep his obituary with my wallet every day.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I knew it haunted him, and being there, I can tell you, like, being at the lower end of that, I wasn't happy with what's going on, but I was more.
You were always a psych guy, weren't you? I mean, even as a kid.
Maybe.
You have a phone call real quickly. We've got about 2 minutes left. Good morning. You're on there with Dr. John Grace.
Yeah, you sort of covered it. At least in my experience growing up, I was the geek, and I got bullied. The bullies, they didn't operate singly. They operated at least in a pair. And how you protected yourself was you paired up with somebody. I found a lineman on the football team that needed help in English. And he was a big fellow. All he had to do was look at you and you backed down. He never laid a finger on anybody, but him palling around with me ended my bully problems.
Yeah, and
That's good.
That's really what you see a lot going on in bullying is sort of group psychology and people coming together to kind of feel a little safety in numbers.
John, we've got a minute left, so let's give out the information. If somebody wants to call you, they want to get in on this, or maybe make a donation.
The best place is to just visit our website, johngracemd.com, do a John Grace psychiatry search, or call us at the office 795-2246, and we can direct you if you're interested in playing or donating to the tournament or charity. So thanks so much, guys.
Anything we can do to help promote this? I guess we can do it on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
And we can do that.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
I really think you've hit on something that the whole country is going to say, what? And that's going to get their attention. And when you explain it the way you did in the first 15 minutes of the show, I mean, you're going to be getting calls from everybody.
Yeah, I've learned not to care about that. I mean, honestly, I'd rather.
Yeah, but how many people you help? Think about how many people.
I know, but I mean, there's a little bit of celebrity thing that goes on, and I think you never want to lose sight of the people that you actually touch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay. But I'm looking at it not from the fact that it would catapult you into the limelight, but the fact that the idea would be catapulted into the limelight.
Sure.
Right?
OCA.
Oh, there's the idea.
Gainesville.
Thank you, John. John W. Grace. W, right?
3 FM, the
Is he?
source.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The fight for delegates today centering on Wisconsin.
Ted Cruz leading the polls against GOP frontrunner Donald Trump.
Donald Trump has been supporting liberal Democratic politicians for 40 years. We will make America great again. Thank you, Wisconsin. I love you. Go out and vote.
Trump hoping for a surprise win here, while Cruz hopes to put a dent in Trump's delegate count.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso in Wisconsin.
On the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders leads Hillary Clinton in the polls, with state officials expecting a record voter turnout here.
TransCanada says the Keystone Pipeline likely to stay shut down for the rest of the week while officials investigate an apparent oil spill in southeastern South Dakota. And the Labor Department says U.S. hiring jumped to a 9-year high in February, a sign of robust business demand for new workers. Fox News, we report, you decide.
If you really want to protect your vehicle's floor, why would you settle for anything less than the most advanced vehicle floor protection available? I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. The main goal when we design, engineer, and manufacture our floor liners is to protect your vehicle's floor, period. We realize you've made quite an investment in your vehicle, so we do everything possible to help you protect it. We don't cut corners, and we don't compromise on quality, ever. We test our custom-fit WeatherTech floor liners to ensure they hold up against anything and everything that falls on them. Dirt, sand, snow, mud, even food and drinks. And our floor liners are made right here in America, with American raw materials and, of course, American workers. So now that you know how passionate we are about protection, just imagine the detail and energy we put into every aspect of our floor liners. Learn more today about our full line of automotive accessories at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech floor liners, complete protection, completely American-made.
Council. It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Well, Commodity Credit Corporation